Hi there Popsicles, and welcome to Storytime with Pops. If you are new to Storytime with Pops, please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the subscribe button. Are you ready for another story? I am, so let's go. Today we're going to read There is a Yowie Called Buckley Who Farts, written and illustrated by Tony Squire. There is a Yowie in Australia called Buckley, and he really loves to fart. In fact, he is quite skillful, making farting a form of art. But farting is quite normal and has many names. Like blowing off or letting one rip, which to Buckley is just one of his games. In English Cockney rhyming slang, if you are heard to fart, they very politely ask you, "Hey geezer, did you just horse and cart?" Buckley begins his day at the lake down a long and winding path, where he sits in the water farting, making the lake bubble like a jacuzzi bath. Well, it may sound fun blowing off in the sun, but when those bubbles pop, it's time to loudly sigh. For there is no reason why, and I'm telling you no lie. And it is as true as a flamingo's feathers are pink, that when a fart-filled bubble pops, it is time to run away, because it really does stink. Now Buckley, he likes to fart, as we know, whether he sits, stands straight and tall, or leans. But to add fuel to the problem, yes, you've guessed it, Buckley's favourite food is beans. Once the beans are eaten, now begin the rumblings, and we all know that something bad is soon to start. Because when Buckley's tummy rumbles, we know to our peril that he is about to do a big and noisy fart. So begins Buckley's tale of woe as he tiptoes like a mouse, visiting every single room and breaking wind throughout the house. He blew off in the dining room when the kids were eating food. Oh, Buckley, farting at the table is so very rude. Buckley farted in the kitchen and he dropped one in the hall. He blew off all around the house and wasn't very popular at all. Because of the stink that Buckley made, everyone was mad. Especially when he had a farting competition with dear old farting Dad. But when the kids saw Dad and Buckley, they thought it an invitation. So when they joined in and farted too, it became a family farting detonation. With all of this extra pumping, Buckley and the house began to glow. And Mum was very cross and shouted, "Buckley, it's time to go." But as the odour it did disperse, Mum had a contented look in her eye, for she knew full well when she was alone she'd pop one out on the sly. Banished to the street Buckley was, for his bottom it did offend. So he popped into a telephone box and tried to phone a friend. But as he stepped inside the box, his tummy it did rumble, and he let rip with a massive fart that made the telephone box walls tumble. In 5 big pieces on the ground, the phone box it did lay. I guess I'll have to go into town, thought Buckley, and have a little play. Loaded up with his farting fuel, on his nose Buckley wore a peg. Why oh why, he wondered, do my farts always smell like egg? He walked around the town of Kilcoy, sneaking farts out like a sly old fox, silent and deadly and even explosive, as we have seen with the poor dead telephone box. Sometimes Buckley was discreet, as he walked along each Kilcoy street, letting some go in silent bursts, which were really quite putrid and vile. But the poor folk who smelt it wondered who had dealt it, until Buckley waved and announced, "It was me!" with a satisfied smile. Even in the supermarket, whilst pushing his shopping trolley, Buckley is unable to resist the occasional farting volley, leaving a stinky trail of green fog in his wake. At first you may not smell it, but you'll soon know, for the ground will surely shake. Buckley is a bit of a joker, so beware when playing with balloons at a party. And remember, if you burst them, to hold your nose, because the odour will be very, very farty. And the fart smells that he may make when you are trying to eat your cake are the most talked about and terrifying scandals. But whatever you do, for pity's sake, please don't let Buckley blow out the birthday candles. Farting at school can also be very cool, with Buckley even pumping out a merry song. But not all tunes are welcome to the ear or other senses, because his song, it really, really, really does pong. Not only is this strange music unwelcome to the nose, it forms a smelly green cloud so thick that you could bite it. But whatever you do in the science lab, please don't let one rip and try to light it. Even back at home, he just can't help himself, with scary rumblings emanating from his belly. And with his feet up and sitting comfy, Buckley even lets them go when watching his favourite cartoons on the telly. Now, farting may be fun when all is said and done, but there are places where letting off is impolite, like breaking wind on a bus or in a cafe, or running away after popping one out late at night. But it was on a royal visit that Buckley caused a frightful scene when he shook hands very smartly and farted on the Queen. "Oh my," she shouted, holding her nose whilst feeling a little unclean. "I shan't be visiting Kilcoy again. Your yowie is rather obscene." "But don't you fart, your Majesty?" Buckley asked, which made her smile and laugh. "Oh no, definitely not," replied the Queen. "My butler blows off on my behalf." As he walked away and pondered, he thought the Queen a little snobby, but he smiled to himself and was content that blowing off was just his hobby. Some pastimes are celebrated, but is bottom burping that popular per se? "I know," thought Buckley very thoughtfully, "let's have a World Fart Out Loud Day." Well, farting out loud certainly makes a yowie proud, and the truth is that everybody does it. Oh yes, they do. Your parents, your friends, and even your teachers like to pop one out occasionally, don't you? Let's face it, Buckley just loves to fart. Blowing off, trumping and letting rip everywhere, releasing unwelcome odours and vapours into the lovely fresh clean air. But we must not encourage these stinky smells and green fogs that hang around and linger. So whatever you do, if Buckley offers it to you, please don't pull his finger. The end. If you enjoyed this book, you too can get your own copy. Just follow the link in my description box below to find out where to buy it. And don't forget to like and share this story and my channel with your friends and family, and please remember to click on the subscribe button. Thank you so much, Popsicles, for watching. I look forward to reading to you again on Storytime with Pops. Bye for now.